Hey, we're here with Fitz and Noelle from Fitz and The Tantrums. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having us.
The record, Picking Up the Pieces, has been out since August, but it's really blown up probably in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, last month, 2 months.
Yeah. It's a party soundtrack. I mean,
I like it. We like to party.
Yeah, you throw it on and you can just have fun for an hour or so. About the Motown and Stax influence is fairly obvious, but it's a little deeper than that, right?
It is. I mean, we definitely didn't want to just make a pure pastiche. We wanted to take Motown and soul music as a jumping off point,
right? And
say, is there anything that we can do to push that sound into the future, and say, is there anything we can say new about soul music? And we bring a lot of other references. There's a lot of 80s music reference in there. She's a huge Tom York fan. I don't know how that's
I don't know how that fits in there.
It's in there somewhere.
Just in, lyrically writing and, you're always kind of clever with everything,
When I first heard Money Grabber, I actually didn't think of Motown. I thought of Hall & Oates. And then also is that Philly soul thing going on anyway, right? But
sure.
that's what I got. First time I heard Money Grabber. It's a little more than just that, and the thing that strikes me is this guitarophobia that you have. I don't know if you're scared of guitar or you don't want to hear it.
I'm sick of guitars.
Or you're sick of guitars. Okay.
Not. I just feel like in any live band, the guitar is the most used instrument. You always see it. It's always featured, and right from the get-go, from the very first song, we just wanted to see, could we make a big sound? Could we have a band that could be heard on the radio and do it without guitars?
Right.
And what it does is it really lets there be a real focus on the rhythm section, which is all about a great groove. And then for Noelle and I, it just gives a great space for us to really sing and do our thing and harmonize.
I also find that the percussion and the extra organ fills in some of those gaps too,
for
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, these are seasoned players that are playing on the record. These aren't chumps, right?
Amazing players.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in this band. Noelle has sang on many a big record. She used to be a part of an amazing band called The Rebirth. Our keyboardist used to be in Macy Gray and wrote a lot of her hit songs. Everybody, has done a lot of work.
The stylized thing is also helping the band, right? And
we like to look sharp. And you see she's got a very cute hat on. Even in this cold winter, she's got to look sharp.
She's not fronting in Canada.
No.
She used to have a hat.
Well, today's 25-degree weather feels warm after the minus 13 we were just
we were in
in.
Montreal
you were in Montreal.
yesterday.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Montreal.
DIY. I mean, was this? I read somewhere that the record was recorded in a living room. Is that true?
It was in my living room. When we first started out, we didn't have any money. We didn't really have any resources except for a passion to make a record. And so we just did it in my living room. And then when we finally got signed last spring, we could have gone to a fancy studio or something like that, but it was like we had such an amazing experience making it there. It was like, if it's not broke, why try and fix it?
And right off the floor, or was there a little bit of overdubbing?
Oh, there was a lot of overdubbing because we had literally one old crappy mic. So it was literally putting one piece on top of the other,
What's the live performance? Because I keep hearing about that's really where the party's at is the live thing.
It's electric. I mean, going back to how each and every one of us brings something to the band. We each have a character, and it shows on stage. I'm one of those people that can't be on stage and just kind of stand around and look, pretty. That's not my style.
Right.
I like to see people involved. I like people dancing. I
Oh,
would
if you're
rather
not
have
moving,
you
she's
dancing.
going to call you out.
Oh, really?
Oh, for
I'd
sure.
rather have you dancing than staring at me,
Right.
and looking. And, you get those moments too. You have people that are, kind of in awe, but you don't know when you're on stage because you're getting these lights that are overhead and it's really dark. So you see the first row, they're not doing anything. And you're wondering if you're actually doing a good job. And it's not until the end of the song that they're like, but.
So if you're coming out to a Fitz and Tantrums show, the pressure's on to dance.
It's to move, to clap, to
Yeah, we like to
sing.
make the audience another participant in the show, and she's amazing at getting them going. And it's about giving people permission to have a good time.
Right. It's great, and it certainly stands out. I mean, the style and the music certainly stands out in this indie rock kind of wash of everything sounds pretty much the same.
Yeah, I think I think people are hungry for that musical experience of great musicians laying it out, and we don't just play the record in the exact arrangements.
Right.
We extend sections. There's a part where the guy's doing an amazing Farfisa solo. So every show is a true unique experience to that moment.
And you mix up the set list, or you don't mix up the set
No,
list?
we do.
Yeah.
And we've got we got 1 or 2 magic covers up our sleeves.
Oh, really?
That we break out.
Cool.
New songs that we throw out every now and again.
Let's talk about the record and a couple songs on the record. The first one is Money Grabber, because it's the single and it's on right now. I mentioned Hall & Oates, but is there anything that you want to talk about the song? The video is pretty cool too. I mean, it's sexy.
We had this. We made an amazing package for the record, which is that blue and red concept. Right. And right out of the gate, we said we want to turn that into a live action video, and we called this amazing director, Mike Mohan, who really took that idea and made it come to fruition. Yeah. We couldn't be happier with the way that video turned out, because we never, in that video, none of us are actually ever in a scene together.
Right.
It's everybody individually shot,
just completely
and then
layered
it's
on
all
top of
layered.
each other.
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
Poor guy was in this, wee hours of the
We
night.
did
putting it
shoot
all
one
together.
scene with
Oh
us
yeah,
together,
me
like
and back to back.
a movement thing.
But that's why he gets paid the big dough, right?
Or the little dough.
Or the whatever. Next video will be huge for him. Breaking the Chains of Love. It's that standard Motown thing for sure.
Right.
Temptations.
But it's got especially in the rhythm section, there's a lot of hip hop influence to this record. And actually, last night in Montreal, we had this rapper came up and said, I took Don't Gotta Work It Out, your song, and I chopped it up and I laid a rhyme, and he gave me a CD, and we had to go to bed just to be here this morning. I haven't even listened to it, but I've been dying for a rapper to lay down.
There's a lot of tracks like that. Like Rich Girls 2, I think, could probably use a track or two about,
Oh yeah, I mean, it's out there if anybody wants to do it.
Yeah.
And that song, Breaking the Chains of Love, was the first song that was written for the whole band, and really kind of set the compass of where we were going to go with the project.
Do you do most of the writing, or is it a collaborative?
Well, I started that first song, and then we quickly got everyone. I mean, we literally made 5 phone calls, and this is the band you have together. And then it just became a collective effort. The title track to the song, Picking Up the Pieces, was this idea that was just sitting on my hard drive that could never be finished. And I had a cool little keyboard part and a chorus, and I could never find the verse, and I played it for Noelle. And I mean, I was trying for like 4 months to figure out the puzzle, and she was like, oh, what about this, blah, 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 and it was done.
Wow,
in 30 seconds, I was just like,
Where were you 5 months ago, right? Well, Rich Girls is another track. There's 2 things I want to ask. Rich Girls is a cool track because it's that back and forth between rich and poor girls, and I love the chorus. It's hilarious. But the other thing that I wanted to ask you was about picking up the pieces. It seems to be a theme throughout the record. I mean, there's another song where you actually say you're picking up the pieces.
Yeah, we like to kind of like bring back some of the lyrics threaded through the other songs so that it all becomes its own sort of cohesive lyrical thing.
10-track thing, not just singles.
Yeah, well, we definitely from the outset we wanted to make
a record
from start to finish in the old tradition, and that every single track on the record would be able to stand on its own 2 feet.
Right. What have the highlights been? You've played some TV shows, the HTC commercial. What have been some of the highlights?
There's been so many. I mean, we got to go out on the road with Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings.
Of course.
They invited us out, and that was amazing and an honor to be with them and to get to watch Sharon do her thing every night. We were just like 2 students watching the master. I mean, she is one of the best performers of all time.
Yeah, I think also just the shows in general. I mean, this tour so far has been so amazing for us playing cities we've never even touched.
Right.
And they're selling out. And these people are singing the songs word to word.
I
mean,
it's
just been the most amazing experience seeing that, because you don't really understand it until you're in front of the crowd.
Yeah, when you're in the van or the bus, you're just you're in your little microcosm.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, getting the numbers back, like where you're rated, Greek to me until I see.
Are you guys active on social media? I know.
Very.
Yeah.
Her and I do all of our social media. Like when people send us a Facebook message or an email to our website, it's Noelle and I responding back, and that's been really rewarding to get to have a personal relationship with the fans, and I think they really appreciate it too.
More touring throughout this winter time and into the spring.
Every coldest city in Northern America.
Right. I mean, you're all over the place, probably.
Well, and and it's been really cool because we have 16-year-old fans all the way up to 45-year-old fans, and everything in between. And what's been great is to introduce a lot of younger people to soul music that might not have that much knowledge or connection to it, and saying, not everything is auto-tuned and playback. This is the way it used to be done.
Because you get that automatic thing with soul, like it automatically has to be this like urban sound.
Right.
There has to be this, this genre specific, to a specific crowd. And I think our music really opened those lines and those walls, I mean, from 2-year-olds to
Totally.
80.
Well, it's a
Love
party
it,
record.
So.
What do you guys listen to on the bus? I mean, do you have your iPods on, or you share musical tastes?
Yeah, we do, absolutely. Everybody in the band, their iPods have some of the deepest collections. Our drummer is a rare B-side soul collector, so has an amazing collection of records, and it's very varied. Sometimes we have iPod wars where you play one song and somebody tries to top it, and you pass up to the front and plug in your iPod and do these sort of like driving DJ sessions, but
is there anything that stands out for you
Deer
guys?
Hunter is something, Major Lazer.
Cool.
What else?
God, what have I been listening to? Brothers record, band's name I cannot remember right now.
Keys.
Black Keys album I've been listening. CeeLo's new record I've been listening to a lot lately. It's such a beautiful album, and
it's all these genre bending records, right? That are not really.
Yeah, well, I think everybody as soon as the option to shuffle came into play, everybody was able to broaden their tastes, and now with the way that we all consume music, nobody's forced to be stuck in any one genre. And you can go from listening to, Wu-Tang to CeeLo to us to anything you want. It all mixes in,
Which I feel most of the artists in our generation have been doing because we've had such access to music. Finding music. Where many years ago it wasn't that way.
Right.
Unless you're overseas, of course. You know what I mean? So
your niche, your favorite artists, and that's it. But certainly the interwebs have opened that up for everybody.
The internet is an amazing tool. We wouldn't even be sitting here today if it wasn't for the internet. Because for those first year and a half of us doing the DIY thing, the only way that this thing spread was through word of mouth. One person found us on their little blog that has 10 readers, and they told 10 friends, and they told friends, 10 friends, and that's completely the reason we're here, is because of word of mouth and fans.
Well, thanks for being here, and thanks
you
for
so
making
much
a
for
great
having
record,
us.
and can't wait to see the show tonight, so thanks a lot, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Explore Music wears English Laundry apparel.